on the days of our lives. All right, speaking of perspective, we're going to go for Jay for Joy. Good morning, Joy. Now, here we go. We're flying the shuttle over, landing on Planet Brad. What's up, Kyle Popcorn?
Yo. I love the conversation with Tony, because the more I've gotten to know you, you really are a character. And this whole conversation just reminded me of one of my favorite scenes from Talladega Nights, when they were like, well, you're just with all due respect, you're a jerk. And the guy goes, what? That's just rude. And he goes, yeah, I said with all due respect. So I'm going to run into mine because we are way into the ish. So here's just my perspective on this leadership part. Do you do what you expect others to do? Have you done what you expect others to do? Because leaders actually lead. They help others be successful is one of the things that I've just picked up through life. And I love what Bridget was talking about earlier about everything revolving around someone. So Michelle has mentioned the book Good to Great by Jim Collins. And in that book, he literally shows the companies that were still growing after 25 years. Good was a company with massive growth, but very few companies become great and continue with exponential growth 20, 25 years later. And those leaders in those companies, the common thread was they were very humble. They were very behind the scenes. They weren't the center of attention. And most of them that were successful for a short period of time, 10, 15 years, were. So that dictatorship, barking orders. Or here's my big perspective is having someone come in and do it, figure it out, come up with all this stuff. And they don't even have the experience and background that you do building whatever it is. And you just have some leaders just have somebody else come in and here, you create it, go. Well, okay, where do you want me to start? How do you want this to look? And they don't, well, just do it. So thinking of that leadership, having them if you have people just figuring it out and creating it completely, that's when they leave and go do it on their own. Yeah, and so that might be a little controversial from some perspective, but I think you can't have a standard, have not done it, and can't step in and do it. Like I had a coaching call yesterday, and I was helping the guy, just directed him, throwing a couple of things on the table to help get him going in the right direction. And he's like, man, you got answers. You got great stuff for all of this. I said, no, this is just my experience. I want you to attach that to how you're going to do it. So that's how the leadership lead rolls. And just in cold calling in our office and stuff, calling leads and getting information, it's like my team would go, well, they didn't want to give me their information. I'd pick the phone up right there, and the next 5 people I'd call would tell me their whole life story, their address, So when you expect something, hopefully you've done it so you know it can be done, and then you can lead people to not only have that as a baseline, but now they can be creative and even make it better. So that's what I wanted to share about the leadership role today. Getting off the stage.
Love it. And, I love everybody's perspectives and their take on the leadership lead roles and everything else, because it is important to see it all, hear it all. And there's going to be people that lead quietly. Some are going to lead loudly. Some are going to lead from the rear, some from the front, some from the sides. And ultimately, the biggest role that any leader has and will ever have is to create other leaders. And sometimes to create other leaders, it's about, stepping up and stepping forward. So thank you for that, Coach Brad, and for how you do it and how you show up. And I was actually talking about you yesterday to a friend of mine. I'm probably I'll hit you up later today as well when you have some time. Just shoot me a text with some times that you've got available. Jay,